Yes.
Look all around at your surroundings. Tell me what that looks like.
I see stars above me, like I'm in space, but the beneath me is like a sand type dirt, but it's also hard at the same time. I feel I'm on the moon.
Beautiful. Feel yourself. Look at yourself. Do you feel like you have a body?
No,
What do you feel like? Are there any colors, shapes to you? Tell me what you feel like.
I feel like energy, like lights, different lights within this light, like changing colors. It's a white light, but it changes colors within the center of it. Hues of different lights. And I'm just there, floating, admiring the stars, the surrounding around this brightness.
Beautiful. On the moon, tell me, do you see anything else there with you?
I did also get a sense, though, in the beginning that my feet were like astronaut shoes or feet.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some metal thing next to the feet. There's nothing else around.
However, you don't feel these astronaut feet anymore. You just feel like energy.
Right, yes.
Okay. Describe what the surface of the moon looks like. What does it feel like?
Like dried up clay, but more like a bright gray type. It's a texture and feeling unlike anything that is on Earth, but there are things that are made up within the texture on the moon that's found on Earth, but nothing exact. There's some dust as well within it because it's
Okay, good. Let's move around in this space and find out why you're here on this moon. Move around. Let me know when you see something different.
there's a darkness. It's bright. It's very bright on the side that I was. And as I look and I'm moving to my right, there's something dark there, like landed there, or that's set up there. It's shiny black, like it has a lot of it's like a spaceship type, but then it has all these legs that are connected to the moon itself to anchor in, I guess you would say. And it's in the shadow area of the moon.
You mentioned that it's dark. Do you mean dark like as it's on the dark side of the moon, or this is what you're describing is dark?
It's on the dark side of the moon. So it's in the shadow part of the moon. And it is also black in color. I do sense it is dark, like an inorganic darkness. Like it's not supposed to be there, but it's there hiding in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel that this thing does? Why is it there hiding in the shadows?
Watches, watches, gathers intel, information. I sense it is vacant at the same time. It is not active, like it's empty. It was what is it? Like a ground, um, the word, they come together, meet at this place.
They come together and meet here by this place that you're seeing.
Yes, they would come here and meet
Mhm.
here as like a hub.
Oh, okay, so then
Yes.
it has legs, but it has um there's an entryway into it.
Yes. It's like
Mm-hmm.
like a okay, like a big spider, but it's like a robotic spider, and then like you imagine the mouth down, it is a ramp that goes down to onto the ground of the moon, and that is the entryway inside. And there's windows all around it. However, you can't tell that they're windows, so they could just see you, but you can't see them.
Okay. And you said that there used to be somebody that goes there. Can you tell me more about that?
Lots of very busy. Used to be very busy. Lots of beings and people would come and gather here to make plans, to collaborate, share information, and
Well, let's go back in time. Let's go back in time to see when there's perhaps gatherings at this spider type plates thing. Back in time now. You're just observing there. We're there now, and tell me what you see. So you're outside of it, and how do these? Would you call them beings, people? What would you call them? What do they look like?
there are some that look like humans, but they're in suits, like space type suits. Others are like like other beings that I have not seen before. Tall, long arms, long legs, like hunched over, different colors, just walking around like not giants, but compared to human, yes. And all different kinds of other beings here in this space. And I also see cages as well outside of the spider type hub. There are cages. There are cages, and I feel that they are also doing experiments here. This place, they, even though it was on the dark side, the shadow, dark side of the moon, they had lights all set up there. Yes, a lot, very busy, like a whole city. Lots of movement, lots of moving around, and other spaceships coming, landing in and out, but smaller, a lot smaller than this big black one.
Okay. Are you just all viewing this from the outside right now?
hmm I'm standing on the outside and just looking like as if I'm on the hill before you go down to the dark side of the moon. I can see it from this hill, if you will, or this edge.
You're still on the light side of the moon, viewing on the dark side? Okay.
hmm
So keep progressing time, seeing what you're able to see and sense very clearly what else you see that comes in and out of this space system.
I saw a gray alien came into view, like hovering over me. I get the sense that this is what they do during their experiments on children and people. And it's cold here.
You're able to just keep observing everything. You're nice and safe as always.
Mhm.
And you said that the gray was hovering over you. Why was it there?
Just looking, observing, wondering why I'm here. What am
Okay.
I doing?
Make yourself invisible. They're not able to see you or sense you there.
Mhm.
Higher self ensuring she's completely invisible, trying to discover why it is that she was taken here. So let's continue on. She's completely invisible. Tell me what happens now to that gray.
They're off. They walked away
Okay,
and they went into their ship and they went off.
good. And do you still feel like energy?
I feel like a body now.
Look down at your feet. How many toes do you have? Do you think how many do you feel under? Are you wearing something over your feet like shoes?
Yes, wearing white, like white boot types, and under the feet, under, inside, I feel 3 feet on each foot.
Three
Yes,
toes on each
three
foot.
toes. Yes, sorry. Yes.
And your hands? What do your hands look like?
2 hands, three fingers on each hand.
Are you wearing anything over your hands?
No,
What does your skin tone look like?
it's a gray tone, but that's just because of where I am. But really it's like a greenish, bluish, purpley color. And it's similar to ET. The skin texture is similar to ET's, like the movie ET, the
Hmm.
extraterrestrial ET.
Yes. Are
Hmm.
you wearing any clothing besides these boots?
No.
You're just wearing boots?
Yes.
Do you feel female, male, or both?
Both.
What does your body look like?
Long legs. Torso. I'm seeing ET. I'm seeing what ET looks like, but more like human-ish. So more longer legs, more of a regular torso, but still like how he looks.
So is your head similar like his?
Yes.
Okay. How about your eyes? What color are they?
I see a hazel type eyes, like a golden hazel, and they're big. There's white around them too, and it's
Hmm.
really white and sparkles in the eyes. It's mm, beautiful because it's that my appearance is can be jarring or scary to some, but my eyes have love and in them, and so they sparkle when I meet somebody else. They just feel safe and love because of my eyes. They
Beautiful.
smile.
Hmm. Good. And what is it that you think you're doing there besides viewing this other side? Why do you think you're on the moon?
To confirm, it is empty now. It is, it is not as it once was, and it's vacant now.
Hmm.
Because when I first landed and looked around, even seeing that hub, that abandoned spider type thing,
Hmm.
there was no fear. I didn't feel any darkness, even though I knew what it was. I didn't get that sense, the feeling that it was there anymore. So I felt completely safe there.
Beautiful. Good. You mentioned something about earlier when we're looking back at that time and space when they were there, something about children. Can you tell me more about that?
A lot of the experiments that they would do, it were on children, young children, like under 5 years old. I see a baby too, and they would strap them down in a cold room out of curiosity and out of fear, out of darkness as well, and trying to control. They would do these experiments on the children, implanting things within them, then watching to see how it developed when they go back to Earth, mm, poking them, seeing how much they would remember or not. A lot of just curiosity, but it not perhaps not perhaps fully intended in the beginning at least to be harmful and negative, but definitely was at the end extremely harmful and negative.
And then you mentioned that after the children were they would return them back to Earth. How did they get them there in the first place to this space hub?
During dream time, beam them in and out. So it was like the children just had a nightmare or a dream, but it was really a memory because kind of like their soul was taken out of their body while they slept. and then popped back in. And also, this would sleep paralysis or um, other things while dreaming would happen when the child would wake up, and this is due to that out of body experience and all the experiences that they encountered.
Mhm.
Night sweats or a nightmare, not realizing or remembering exactly what happened, but they were taking advantage of without their consent.
So this hub was the beam was coming from this hub and beaming them straight from Earth to there. Okay, so then there's you're able to see and sense everything inside. Um, what was actually beaming them in and out? What does that look like?
Like a flash of light, like a
Mhm.
flash of light, instantaneous.
This
Um,
flash's light is connected to what? That's causing the instantaneous flash.
it's connected to the inside of the hub, which is in the inside of the hub is in the center of it is like some type of control panel, portal type of thing that uh, beams in and out that way, and then they just appear. So I'm seeing that it just beams it and appears.
You mentioned that these children were being strapped to like cold metal tables. Who was strapping them to those tables?
I'm seeing the gray aliens. They're kind of tall, though. Tall. I can't. It's hard to, because if they're laying down, they look tall. Also, humans were also involved in this, or beings that looked like humans, reptilian.
You see reptilians?
Yes, also I see reptilians within the humans.
Okay. How about the humans? How were they able to come in and out of this hub? Were they beamed too, or did they have some other means?
Both beamed, and also there's a ship there too. And I feel like some of them lived on. So
And this hub, space hub, would you say how big would it be? Is it very big, medium?
I would say very big. If if I were to stand underneath it, probably at least 5 stories high, or 5 to 10 stories high and wide, really wide, big.
Okay. And you said that it has legs. How many legs does it have?
8.
And does it have anything else? So are the legs just there to support it?
Yes, but I also see the legs can push off and beam up, so it can also be used to fly or push off of the ground if need be and go into the hub spaceship altogether.
And the hub, so then the center hub of this space hub, what shape is it?
Optagon? Optagon. The stop sign, I think that's an octagon. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that, but if you squish it down a little bit and widen it out, and 3D with windows all around, but they're blacked out, so and you just don't know that they're windows.
Okay. Is there anything else of importance that you're seeing there back then when it was dark? Anything else? You mentioned that towards the end, you said it began with just curiosity, and then towards the end of these experiments that they were pretty bad. Can you describe what that bad was?
I see chains and torture, torturing, um, like touching inappropriately or sexual abuse, operating on the body, and then some wouldn't come back or some wouldn't return. I'm getting that some children wouldn't return if it was if they needed to do more deeper experiments on the child, or perhaps not, the child wouldn't return in the same way.
They wouldn't return like home in the same way, or what do you mean?
Yeah, they wouldn't return as the same as who they were before.
Oh, okay.
Changed, changed in some way, or scarred.
So altered. Would they be able to
Mm.
change the consciousness to a different kind of consciousness? Or are you talking about like insertions of, and then they became a different type of, say, hybrid consciousness? Or
Both. I think they try to change the consciousness and
Mhm.
influence in certain ways, and watch and see how that would happen. Alter the DNA and structures within the body. Also, yes, uh, the hybridization hybrid, they would implant their DNA, or like AI DNA, genetically modified DNA, into the the females, and so their genes can live on and they can monitor their growth. Yes, that's what I'm getting.
Mhm. Okay. So then the females, once they became older, their offspring, was it this genetic modified children that they would have instead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also getting that in some cases it didn't work. It and there was some like divine intervention that would
Mhm.
also take place, so that it wouldn't be anything inorganic and dark.
So there was some intervention in some of them. Good. How about for example, the ones that there wasn't able to be divine intervention? You're able to see an example of this. Perhaps a mother who had one of these altered children. Go ahead and you're able to sense and see the offspring. What did this offspring seem like?
In some cases, they look like human, but you can see the difference in their eyes. Others have, I'm seeing like, I don't know what it's called, but it's the children that have the big heads and like skinny noses, and it's a condition, and I think they age fast too. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing that. That's what I see.
Some children with like syndromes.
Yeah, what gets like
Mm-hmm.
syndromes in that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With the divine intervention,
Mm-hmm.
those ones, it's benevolent within them. They feel different because they are, but they're not at the same time. Like light was beamed on them, and in this divine intervention to their body. I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess.
Okay. Would you say then, with the divine intervention, they were still able to maintain the organic consistency of the soul? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, and not be watched. They would be like invisible in a sense as well, so that they wouldn't be monitored. It would be like they lost them in the crowd when they wanted to observe them and monitor them. It would just be like they were nowhere to be found.
And what do you feel and see there? The difference between how come some were allowed to have the divine intervention and some weren't?
There were some that agreed to this, not perhaps the children exactly, but But then they would have to, in some way. Mm, their parents agreed to it um, before being born. There was some contract, something being planned out, and so they already knew which ones they were going to take. And then others that they did not agree or have any form of contract or acknowledgement, those were the ones that they tried their divine intervention on to reverse what was trying to infringe upon them.
Okay, you mentioned at the beginning that it was could it be that for example the ones that had the contracts were those some of the ones at the beginning perhaps they were supposed to be for a different kind of purpose and then it turned dark and did they
Mm-hmm.
just continue to keep that contract and keep abducting them?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So would you say that contract would be at that point then would it have turned negative?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about this?
The view from here, seeing the earth is so beautiful. And she's surrounded by many layers of different colors of light and sparkle. It's beautiful.
Mm. Do you mean by many colors? What do you mean by that? She's surrounded by many colors.
Like there's different layers, um, like a pink layer and a blue layer, just like energy or like rainbow type. And it's just everybody is everybody is surrounding her with their love and their energy and their who they are, and we're all different. So there's many different colors, but it's all love, and it's bright white, golden white light beaming, just beaming out.
Good. So there are layers of energy of love,
Yeah, love, protection, healing. Hmm.
like an aura, would you say?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, an aura around Earth. Okay, good.
Hmm.
So does this Earth look like this uh, when when the dark side of the moon looks active, or after the dark side of the moon? When does it look like this?
The Earth, you mean?
Yes, that you were saying that the
Oh,
Earth looked beautiful like this.
hmm.
So are you talking about the time and space of when it was dark, or after it was dark, or both?
After. Now,
After.
as I'm standing here.
Okay, so now we're okay. Very good.
Hmm.
And so let's go back though to that time and space to when it was dark and something shifted and changed. You said because now it's empty. So let's
Hmm.
go back to when that happened, when it went from dark to what it's at now, empty, no longer say active. What's happening? What's causing for it to not be active anymore? What's going on?
A mix between like energy, waves of energy and light. Also, I hear invasions, but it's like benevolent beings landing there, and little by little, more and more, with all of that, it like I see it swept it away. So it's like the bright light swept that darkness away. But it took many, many, many years.
Beautiful. When you were looking at the dark side of the moon from your perspective, was this like the only type of space hub, or was there anything else that you can see that was on that side?
Rocks, but that's the only thing that I saw that was there.
The building of light on Earth is what um, washed us away. And you said that
Mm.
there were benevolent beings that were landing there.
Hmm. That came there to help. Like I'm seeing or sensing like to fight the battle.
Let's
But
go back to a time and space to when benevolent beings landed there on that dark side of the moon. You're able to see and sense everything. Tell me what's going on.
it's like they're incognito, hidden in some way, not to be seen. This was after. Wasn't the like one of the first times. So a lot of work has been done, continuing to be done. They're there, and I just see light, just energy pouring, like coming out of the ship, the benevolent ship, and blanketing the whole area with this energy. And weakens, it weakened the people, beings, the dark energy that was there. I feel like this is one of the last. I hear rescue mission. One of the last cleanups, I guess. So before there was fighting in a more physical way, and this is what I'm seeing is more in a energetic way. If that makes sense.
Good. Yes. Beautiful. So we're back now in the time and space where everything's it's empty there. How does it feel now on the dark side of the moon?
Just empty. I still sense, even though I don't feel a negative darkness, any fear, I still feel there is residual energy there. So it will take time to fully bounce back.
Still some healing needed there to repair.
Hmm.
Okay. Good.
A lot has happened there for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But the brightness and the light from Earth and also the moon, their energies are helping with this as well. To fill the dark holes, the dark matter, the darkness with love, with light,
Beautiful.
as we do in our Aura sessions as well, with Archangel Raphael's help. It's the same thing.
Thank you. And what about those children that were being performed many experiments on there? Are they also being assisted on Earth?
Hmm. They're undergoing many healings, different type of healings.
That's beautiful. That's great. Thank you. And are you once it's back, the moon is back to being no longer controlled by these dark entities? Do you still feel like you are that being there with the boots, or are you now just energy?
I feel both.
Okay. And you said you were checking on the progress of the moon. Can you tell me more about that? How are you checking that?
Ensuring that everything is as it should be, and if there needed to be any additional healing or rescuing, lack for a better word, that we would be able to assist today.
Greetings. Am I speaking to higher self now?
Yes.
Thank you. I have a couple questions, which is why I brought you in about this time frame that you showed her. Well, first of all, though, tell us, why did you show her this? Why was this important for her to see?
For a few different reasons. She recently saw a documentary about hybridization and abductions. She used to have a lot of fear around aliens and abductions, and a lot of fear surrounding the universe and the stars and space and everything surrounding it. So much fear within it. Now she has no more fear. She watched that documentary without any fear as she would normally have been in. And so we show her this to show her that she's here and she's standing in space without any fear on the dark side of the moon, where there's known to be darkness without any fear, and her witnessing and seeing what it was and what it is now. It's like coming full circle for her, and a confirmation um, of it all, and her love that she has for beings of other planets and the stars and the galaxies and space. She never thought that that would ever be. She had a lot of fear. And it was only to block her so she wouldn't be able to see, to look into anything in that realm to find pieces of who she was. And also, she has always been very connected to E.T. the movie and to E.T. in the movie, even though she was so terrified of aliens and of any of that. But she loved him so much, and she cried anytime she watched it. She thought it was the most beautiful movie. And in therein lies truth. And in that truth, it's like a string. It was like a string that was attached to her. That string was her way to find the way to the love of the universe and of the stars and of space and of how beings of other planets look and how she might have looked as well. And there's nothing to fear, and it's all love. And it is connected to that experience that she has when she watches that movie. And so it was many things, and it's beautiful for her to see and to witness and to come this way so far. We're so proud of her. So proud of her.
Wow. That's profound. That's beautiful.
She has so much light within her, always, always, always so bright that others dispelled it, dismantled, tried to dismantle it, and due to their fear, and also to keep her down and not so bright. But she did it anyways, and she stayed anyways, and she is shining still anyways through it all, through it all. So, yes, we're so proud of her. We're so proud of her. She used to doubt so much, but she trusts.
Beautiful. And if you could tell us, what was the root of this fear? Why did she have this immense fear towards, space and what's beyond?
She is from the stars. And if darkness and shadow can be thrown over that light and thrown over those thoughts, then it will dim her light. And this was, in a way, something she had to experience. She experienced this in different ways, energetically and physically, like for her to come from such higher realms and such high frequency to go to the third dimension, and it's lower. In a sense, that bright light did dim in an organic, natural way, but it has so always been so bright within her. So, in that way, then the people around her that wanted to keep her from remembering who she is also placed this darkness and this veil over that as well. And that became fear. That then became fear. And then it just also the programming as well within the programs when she was younger, they made it so scary of aliens and space. So she sunk deeper into that shadow, if you will. But this, she was always meant to bridge out and forth through it as her light beaming out of it like a firecracker. And along the way, being life, her human experiences, it all was to help her, to teach her, for her growth and understanding of who she is, where she comes from. And sometimes there's no greater way than to actually go through it yourself as the dim beam of light into the firecracker, bright light as she is. So that fear was an inorganic fear, but there was also an organic sense to it all.
Now, as far as the moon, if you could tell us higher self more about this. So it began where it was, negative polarized on that dark side of the moon. But as you explained, the light side of the moon was still, was that still organic? Was it still positive on the light side of the moon?
Yes, it was just too bright. It was too bright. It. Mm, I believe there were attempts to go onto the light side, but they found more comfort into the dark side of the moon.
So therefore, the moon has always been organic. One half has always been organic.
I would say yes.
Okay. And then, why is the other side dark? Why is it not all light?
It's the balance, like the yin and yang, like the balance of our universe, the balance of light and dark.
And okay, so then you mentioned that the okay, so if you could share with us perhaps what you can of the time and space. So in the time and space, in our current time and space, is the dark side of the moon, does that still have like this dark hub or whatever else it might have under, or has that been in our time and space, has it been removed? What time and space has it been removed?
I don't sense it was there. I do sense that it was there recently still, but vacant. And but it no longer is there anymore. So there is nothing there.
Beautiful. Can you tell us if you can, perhaps a date and time, as we know we have lots of portals going on. Specifically, today is a 22222, portal gateway. Was any of these in relations part to when this was, or any time and space, when we finally were able to get them off of there because, like you said, the light raised enough to kind of swipe them out of there?
I feel it began on the second, the 2222. It began to dismantle,
Mm-hmm.
and now it is no longer there.
Yes, I feel that strongly. Thank you for that. Okay. Higher self, anything else? How about these? So you mentioned also higher self that they're healing these children, these people that they were taking. Was it just children, or were they also taking adults? Oh yeah, you said that either were adults that they were experimenting. Yeah, that's right, on the hybridization program. Okay.
Yeah.
And wow, that's powerful. Okay. Yes, if I may, higher self, I've been feeling the moon and her shift this whole time that this has been happening from the 22222, and I can see her aura is, tripled, quadrupled in size. She's very bright, even though there might be a false dark blanket of false blank clouds that they make over her so that we won't see her. But still, her aura is just immense. And I felt that in this time and space. Oh, Oh my God. And I forgot. That's right. We used the moon in our image and talked about her in our 222. 2222 channeling. Wow. That's right. I forgot about that. And then let me see. Wow. I could feel it. There was a specifically in time and space between this, there was a full moon in between all these dates. That's when I felt it. And I was crying and crying. Like this crying like of happiness that I have never felt on earth. It was like this giggling cry of laughter and lightness. And she just activated me. It was just beautiful. Wow. So
Yes.
now I know what that was.
Yes, she's here. She's online as never before. As like never before. So bright and so beautiful. And these waves, even felt them. She doesn't, she's now realizing that it is connecting to that.
Mhm.
But these waves of realization of a sovereignty, like a freeness, like a release, this beautiful release waves of that type of energy has been emanating since the portals opened. And it's just, she didn't have any words, but just tears of joy, of to witness it and to feel it happening. So, I guess this is a good confirmation for her as well.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, higher self. Thank you. Higher self, is there a name that you go by?
Oh, and she's been wanting this for so long.
Mhm.
It's like I was hearing her. She's trying not to interfere with it all. But she was hearing Jay, like Jubilee or like Julie. So she doesn't want to believe that she is a part of me, a fractal of me, but she
Mhm.
is of Jophiel.
Beautiful.
But
Yeah.
like she does sense other, she has other fragment pieces
Mhm.
of others, and she doesn't want to say it, but we are surrendered. She's very connected to Yeshua, Jesus, as well. His love and his beauty is here within her.
Beautiful. Yes, you can feel it every time she talks, or just she's just like this emanating sun
Mhm.
that's just bouncing around everywhere and just such beautiful energy. Thank you. Okay. Wonderful.
Yes.
Anything else you want to tell us about this that you showed her higher self before we begin her body scan?
Just for her to remember that no matter what, her brightness is who she is. It is the love that she is. It is the beauty. It is everything as she witnesses it through this experience, through her life, through everything around her. As she knows, we experience things through experiences in order to gain information and knowledge. And it's through this that it's through all things. It's just to remember and to not doubt. And to not doubt. Yes, you may begin the body scan.
Yes, I actually came up with a question before that. Now, these people that are on Earth that were part of these experiments, whether they were the adults or the children, if they come to a realization and perhaps the significant love light, um, are we then, say, transmuting, perhaps deleting, removing And of course, they would be doing all this work themselves, but would then they be say would we be erasing these inverted timelines that were never supposed to be there for them if they do the work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As we can create in each moment in the future, if you will, it's the same for the past and all beyond. It's all the same as there is no time and space. So, yes, yes, we have that power, we have that ability.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Good. So then the healing can be really profound once
Yes.
this person who was part of this chooses to stop being in the inverted and being more of the fifth dimension. One of the dreams that she explained, actually, I think that really connects to this now. That after she watched 222, that we talked about the galactic update there, the galactic history, that video, she had, or I think she had the dream before. Did she have it before she watched the video or after?
Yes, she watched the video 11 days later, which was just the other
Oh, okay.
day, and
Okay.
it was on, I believe, the 6th of this month.
Okay. So then it was almost, so she received information of what we talked about days later. So we talked about the video days later, but she received information before we even talked about it. And she
Yes.
explained that in the dream, and you can correct anything if I don't say it correctly. But she said that there was, say, a gathering of people that were benevolent and light, and they were being communicated. Actually, it was, I, just like the video, was communicating to them that there was something that they were going to press a button on, turn on perhaps, on Earth. And then she saw lights coming in. So there was a bit, say, darkness happening. So there, the inverted world, they were going to try to turn something on and negatively. And then she said it shifted to, all of a sudden she was out of that and she was in no fear. She was in her most organic timeline and essence. Even though that was going on, say in the verdict, she was still in her most five-dimensional essence. Anything else you want to add to that and why you showed her that?
This was also to like, and she's like a seer in her dream time. We show her many things as to come or that are happening. It's all happening, it's all real. And as she interprets it, know that in each moment, in every moment, we can all choose differently. In each moment, the choice can be different. And to, even in the dream time, even any time, to choose your sovereignty, to choose to not consent, to understand and realize and to be an observer and to witness it happening, staying in your heart and seeing what that does. Seeing that when you stay in your heart and you choose in that moment and you do not consent and you're on your organic timeline, that you are and that it is without any fear, without any worry. Because these things, and as she saw the video, this all came to her. But yes, it is of, as you explained to her, of what they want to turn on, that 5G, that um, they want to dispel it out. But and she is helping in dream time and in every waking moment in her decisions and her choices and what she makes in choosing the light and choosing love and choosing beauty and choosing who she is to dismantle it and dispel it, and it does not exist. It is not on her timeline. It is not on the organic timeline she has for herself and for humanity. And so it was important for her to have that experience and these realizations to further, again, have her trust herself. And as it all came together in your video beautifully.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Wow. Wow. There's not too many words to that, but that is quite a triumph for humanity.
It is. We are there. We are here. Everybody's here. We're here side by side with you all, holding hands. It's so bright. And she feels it. She knows. And it's just nothing but happiness. And in choosing that, again, it's not to ignore and think the darkness and the negative polarized beings are not doing what they're doing and do not have these plans, because they do, and we know. But it's to know that our love and our happiness overshadows it all. It overshadows it, and we choose. And we choose. We all choose together.
Thank you. I'm so proud of her and her growth. As you know, she's been, doing the courses, the Isis Priestess course, also, is Aura and Ra certified. I'm so proud of her, how much she's profoundly grown. And I mean, alone with what you shared with her fear towards the, universe and the moon, or just space overall, and how she's really faced that. And I remember in her first session that she had with, in another, she had another aura. She had a hard time surrendering. And here she is, and just in the most profound surrender. So it's beautiful to see sometimes if we can't say officially surrender in the first aura session, that the second one will bring such a profound, more knowledge and healing in ways that we couldn't achieve in the first. So that's magical. Thank you for her being that example for us.
Yes. We are so proud of her. Yes. Thank you.
Beautiful. May we begin the body scan now, Marissa?
Yes.
While you're there in her breast area, her chest, how's her heart? You can go ahead and expand that to the biggest it can be, as the higher self allows now.
Yes.
With the higher self. Thank you. Good.
It's done.
Her heart is already so big.
She doesn't. She's like, how can it even be bigger? But she
Yeah,
knows
right?
it can be. Oh, it's unlimited. It's an
Mm-hmm.
infinite amount. Yes.
Good. In her heart chakras in her chest have so she has the one. Has the two opened up yet?
Yes.
Good. And how
Yes.
about the third? Will that open in the future?
That is actually is opened for her now.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. And then, okay, she has a couple other questions. Higher self, what is your connection with trees?
Trees are her connection to who she is. Just like that string that we described earlier, like her light is that string. Trees were also like a bridge for her. And she has a strong connection with trees because she's also very connected to the inner earth and the tree of life, as we all are. And she has many memories and experiences with the tree of life, with being in the inner earth, with sleeping down beside the roots of the tree. And so this tree came to her early on to help her with her awakening when she was 19. And the trees came to her awareness and showed her beauty. They taught her what love is, what unconditional love is. When the wind blows, as she loves the wind so much, as the wind blows, it sways the branches and all the leaves and the sounds that it makes, the way the trees look in the darkness, silhouetted with moonlight and street lights, the way the trees are so strong and full of wisdom, their strength and their willingness to bend and sway has taught her many things in her life. And yes, the biggest thing was the beauty. As she sees the trees, she connected to them in the way of looking in awe, as their beauty just captivated her and would bring her to tears of how beautiful they were. This beauty is the same frequency as love. The frequency and vibration you feel when you see and experience something in pure beauty is that same feeling of love and unconditional love and forgiveness and pure light. And it's through this bridge that she was able to awaken and to also find what true love is in her heart, in order to know, again, in order to know truly, it is to be experienced. And through the experience of finding the beauty, in that experience of connecting the beauty to the love of trees, in knowing and connecting that they're all connected together, she was able to connect to her heart, connect to the portal within her heart where source love is beaming from. And it's through this that she was able to forgive and have compassion and further expand her consciousness and her awakening, because in her relationships in her life, her parents and her romantic relationships, she didn't really feel a love, or was not expressed, or didn't understand what true unconditional love is and means. So it was through this experience that she was able to know firsthand from the source, if you will. So her connection goes deep. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, and then she also, she was young, she would draw spirals and stars all the time everywhere she felt connected to the spiral. What is the significance to her connection there?
It's just her time being in space, and also to help her, as at the same time she was drawing this, she had that terrifying fear of space and the stars, but she was also connected to them at the same point, at the same time. So that was trying to also unlock that within her, of her remembrances of the beauty and the safety within the stars. And actually, she did have, in dream time, an experience where she was, uh, um, we don't want to say saving, but saving a very beautiful, important, powerful being from darkness, and she was with her team, her benevolent team, and they rescued her. And it was so beautiful. And she was there in space as this is happening, and she wanted to stay there. She was just floating there, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I miss this so much. It's so fun. I remember playing within the stars. It was so fun." So that came to her recently, further helping her with this question, as she's connected to the stars and the spiraling, always infinity, infinitely.
And then she had a question about the halo. It happened right around she had a dream with Yeshua around 6'8", 6'9", and she had like a type of lighter color in her hair. Seemed like she bleached it, but she didn't. What was the meaning to that? The halo or crown wrapped around her head.
It was her confirmation that she has a fractal of Yeshua within her. She lived as he lived. She knows what it was like to be him, and she we wanted her to remember the dream, and also to have this to signify it, along with other things to help her to understand and to know and to trust that when things come to her, she should not automatically doubt it and believe her ego in it, and trust her heart. So this was a confirmation for her. Yes, it was a halo.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And
Oh,
also to,
yes.
sorry, to remind her that she is an angel, and so it was all together.
Thank you. Thank you. At this point, we've asked all the questions she has and conducted the body scan. Higher self, is there anything else that I could have asked that I haven't?
No.
Beautiful. So in this time and space, I know that you mentioned that on the moon there was still some work to be done, residual energy. Can we provide love light, phoenix fire, collectively, universally, the benevolence of benevolence of beings in our universe? If they can help heal, provide the healing for the moon and the residual there, and provide healing, love light, sending love light to everyone who was part of these negative experiments on the moon. Can we do that?
Yes, it is
Beautiful.
done.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else, higher self?
Beautiful. There's so much beauty that transpired here today,
There
and
is.
with yes, with your help, and so much. As today is a very special day of twos, of unity, of love, of togetherness, that we share in this, that we can come together in our hands, raising them up high, and feeling the love. I thank you so much.
As I thank you. Thank you. Such a beautiful soul she is.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank also Genjo Raphael, Michael, and Isis, and all the beautiful benevolence and Asriel, whoever assisted today, and everyone who sent love to the moon and all that we talked about. We want to thank you all, love you, honor you, and respect you. And most importantly, higher self for doing such a tremendous job with such a beautiful soul. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you, honor you, and respect you.
Thank you so much.
May I bring her back now, higher self?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome back. How do you feel?
Hi.
Amazing session, huh? Amazing. I was able to see and sense everything with you. Yeah. So that was phenomenal. I had a feeling that it was one around one of these portals. So I wanted, that's why I asked an opening question for that. And then I was seeing how 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 pronounced this would be for the collective and those people who were abducted through the moon experiments. Wow, it's just huge. It's just there's no words, honestly, for what was shared. Thank you, and I know that we did it collectively, but thank you for being the bridge of the voice for the collective in this time and space to bring this. And I was wondering why I just couldn't do anything in between. That was my last live video to right before the to or right after, actually. I haven't been able to do one since then because I was just really focusing on the collective and healing and healing and healing that. So that makes sense. We did a lot, the collective, during that time since that video.
I mean, wow, right? Wow, I forgot you even mentioned that. Oh my gosh.
You are amazing. I
Oh
love
my gosh.
you.
I'm so happy. I really just wanted to be everything it needed to be,
Oh,
and
thank
it
you,
was.
love.
Oh, thank you,
Because I
Aurora.
see the healing that it's going to do for people, and I see how they're going to really relate to it, and how they're going to remember, oh, yes, I can heal these experiments that have been done on us. We can start the healing for that. And yes, they can. It's
Uh-huh.
just amazing. Thank you, love.
It was so bright everywhere. Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was. And then I saw that like at the beginning how it was darker, but now that like there was that aura around Earth. How beautiful was that?
Yeah, all different colors, like a rainbow. Like
Mhm.
everybody's energy, everything, like just fully encased.
Oh,
So
yeah.
strong.
That's huge.
I love it.
Oh my god, that's big. That she's encased like that. Oh, I wonder when that happened. Ooh,
I know.
I'm getting it was 12/21.
Ooh. You know
12/21.
what? Oh, wow. I heard a whole yes in my whole being when he said that.
Yeah, you're gonna notice your abilities are gonna be even more heightened now. Awesome. Wow. Huge, huge.
You did
I
so
love
much.
you.
I
I
love
love
you.
you.
Thank you for everything. Thank you. I love you, honor, and respect you.
I love you.
So I'll see you in dream time in the meantime.
Sounds good. I'll see you then. I love you, sister. Honor you and
I love
respect you.
you.
Mwah. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Bye,
Bye.
love.
Thank
You're
you. You
amazing. You
are.
are. Bye, love. Greetings. It is such an honor to be here with you, explaining what Galactic Soul History book series is about. I am Aurora. I am the founder of A.U.R.A Hypnosis Healing, which you will find here in our beautiful books. Book 1. Every part of this book is divinely beautiful, beginning from the cover and the amount of wisdom and knowledge that is being shared. This book began by A.U.R.A Hypnosis Healing Technique by conducting past life regression on over 330 clients within the last 3 years, where they told their galactic history, their soul journeys, explaining who they were beyond the veil, beyond this earth, in the dimensions, in a universe. These different higher self expressions surprise me just as much as they're going to surprise you. You're going to start reading this book and you're going to want to learn more and more about these different expressions, not wanting to stop. Through these past life regressions, the clients were able to remember consciously what is within the subconscious as far as where it is that they've traveled throughout time and space, their souls have traveled, and they were able to share histories of different dimensions, planets, and universe and alternate worlds that brought forth pieces of the puzzle, pieces we had thought that we had forgotten. And through every self-expression that they share and these different past lives that they're sharing or future, we learn to be able to remember self, because as we are all fractals of one another, through this book, you will learn how even if a client is talking through a higher self perspective or some of the angelics are talking, you will learn how each one of those have messages even within your life, as we are all all expressions and reflections of one another. True history of the galactic history of the universe through all different forms of these higher self expressions, these different clients of throughout internationally throughout the world didn't know each other, but yet we're able to put this beautiful collaboration together. It goes through an infinite amount of how to self-heal, as well as things that are very sensitive, as the mind lab, as how to weave through the artificial matrix and learning to come out from it into the organic matrix. I am a channel to the galactics, and we channeled furthermore information through this book as well. You will remember your soul through other cells. This in itself is infinitely beautiful, because this is why we fractalize from source itself, so that we can learn from one another, sharing each other's journeys throughout our different incarnations, so that we could grow together. So this is what this book is all about, sharing these beautiful infinite expressions that help you grow in the most profound ways, gaining your sovereignty, gaining your power back, recalling memories long lost within perhaps your memory field, activating your crystalline energies, your crystalline bodies, just as you will fall in love with each one of these different clients, these beautiful souls in these soul journeys. You will also learn to fall in love with yourself, because you, with every wisdom, every knowledge gained through every single session that you will learn how to also self-heal within your etheric, your energy body, your physical body, your infinite soul. You will learn all these different things that we thought were not possible, that you will learn that they are possible. Looking forward to meeting you perhaps in the future through whichever form, whether that is on my YouTube channel, whether it is through any class or certification, through a workshop, through a seminar. Thank you for following your heart to mine. I love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you.